smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I look at you and know it's alright. You read my mind, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I don't need another love. Yeah. We do this every day. We do this love for life. You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Clubhouse Chaotic Chat. It's your Sunday night mainstay at 6 p.m. on the East Coast. Every week, these ladies sit down and bring you some of the most amazing people from our community, whether they're creators, whether they're consumers, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a fun show. Tonight, we got a good one lined up for you, too, and we'll talk about our guests and everything we got going in just a few minutes. If you're brand new and here for the first time, we ask you to do those fun things. Hit that like, let the ladies know they're doing a good job. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more Disney content on a consistent basis that we do over here. And if you're watching on the replay, which we do get a lot of replay watches, please leave a comment. If you have a question for our guest, throw it back in there again. Let's get the ladies in here and get things rolling. Good evening, ladies. Welcome in. Good to see you all tonight. Well, first, throw a shout out to Steph and tell her, hope that, shout out to Tina. Hope that, I got cookies on the mind because Stephanie kept talking about cookies. I can't stop thinking about cookies. Shout out to Tina, who's working tonight, and we hope that goes by quick, and we'll see her back here, I believe, in a couple weeks. So we miss her, and shout out to Tina. I'm going to let Steph go last because she does have a mouthful of cookies, and she's also trying to get names written, and we got a lot of friends coming in. So first, Mandy, hello. How are you this evening?
Doing wonderful. I'm with you. I really, really want cookies now.
Thanks, Steph. There we go.
Yeah,
So what are we going to
they're
do?
amazing, amazing, amazing.
Jen, how are you? Are you thinking about cookies?
I'm thinking about cookies. I'm thinking about food. I'm thinking about pierogies.
All the above.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a few texts come through in the past few minutes of some delicious looking pierogies, and
Oh. Okay.
it's all about the food. I'm
It is all
hungry.
about the
Let's
food.
go.
Okay. All right. Cookie Monster, how are you?
Good. Not a sponsor, but hello. I want to tell everybody these are made in Maryland, and they are some kind of secret that they have been keeping from the rest of the world. I'm going to tell
Yes,
you.
they are. They are fantastic.
Not anymore.
Absolutely.
I'm a
love
fan
them.
forever. Fan forever. So.
Well, I'm excited about tonight. We've got a great guest here. and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I guess first things first, let's say hello to some friends and people all in the chat. And Steph is taking care of that. So let's get that started, get it knocked out. And I'm going to go pull my hand out of here.
Pull
It's
your hand out of your ear. Is that what you said?
out of here. I keep it hidden back there.
Oh.
So the
Shouldn't
dog, I
hide
have
your
to
hand
hide
in
it.
your
I
ear.
have to hide it from Sully. He tries to take it. So
Good call.
there we
Ooh,
go.
I just got another one. Sorry. All righty, here we go. Excited to have all these folks in here so early. Woohoo! All right. Hello to Molly's mom, Miss Anita. Hello to Mike Beachman. Hello to Julie McCowan. Hello to Vicky Gillespie. Hello to Fred O'Malley and friends of the Green Packers. Hello to Dave Cantrell's Disney Dreams. We've got Italian in the group. We've got Debbie Thuner. We've got Teresa Suara. We have Go Minnie, also a Maryland person, by the way. Jill Watchbrick. We've got Jason and Gloria Thibodeau. We have Mark F. Did I mention we have It's Me, David T. in the chat? All right. Simba 2, Matt's here too. Main Street Nick and his mother, Jennifer Caruso, and her husband, Ronald Caruso. We also have Plymouth Rock. We have Miss Regina Erie. We have Mr. John A.B. We have Dean the Turkey Legster, who will be coming on our show soonish.
That's right.
We have Sarah Dash. We've got Zippity Doo Doug. We've got JC Skipper Brian. We've got Amy from AJC Magic TV. We've got Jules Murph. We've got Cakes 2112, Rush fan. We've got Katie Phillips. We have Miss Darla, Aliens Wear Green Hats. We have Miss Ellie from across the pond. We've got Surfer Girl 326 from the beach. We've got Pumpkin Shelby and Phil Collins. And that is as far as I got before I cut myself off there. So,
Okay. If we miss
cruise
you,
and theme park guide. See you.
if we thank you. If we miss you along the way, I'm sure Steph will be keeping track. We'll make sure we say hello. We're so glad you're here, hanging out with us tonight and having some fun on the show. Let's get right into last week's recap. We had, speaking of Sierra, we had a great time with Sierra last week. Mandy, could you share a little bit of that with our guests who might have missed it?
Absolutely. And we had an amazing show last week, learning all about Sierra from Cruise and Theme Park Guide. And here are some highlights from last week's show. It was a truly awesome experience sitting down with Sierra last week and diving into her passions, whether it's her love of technology, her flair for storytelling, or the way she puts faith into growing her channel through positivity. It was inspiring to see how she's building her community with so much heart.
Yes.
Another highlight, we really enjoyed chatting about cruising and hearing her passion for educating others in the cruising community. Plus, it was a treat to learn about her drink of the week, the avocado margarita from La Cava del Tequila in Epcot.
Yeah.
That one,
That,
not a
that's,
big margarita fan, but might try it. Sierra also shared with us her love for the Disney festivals and recounted an incredible experience she had with Tony Baxter at the 2025 Festival of the Arts. It was such a treat to hear her stories and her passion for all of those magical moments. And it was also really great sitting down and listening to the concept and plan beyond her or behind her YouTube channel, Cruise and Theme Park Guide. We're excited to look ahead to the future and see the optimistic effort she's putting into her new channel, and that's all about helping others.
yes.
The best way to let our guests know that you enjoyed her interview is to leave a comment on her Triple C video. So if you haven't already, I encourage you to go back, watch it, and leave a comment. And mods, if you could, please drop the link to that show from last week so everybody can take a look at it again, even if they
Absolutely.
watch.
We've got
So
we've got a couple ways. That's a great point, Amanda. You can take a look at the last week's show. You can also go back and listen to the podcast at any point because the podcast has all the shows from all the guests. If you didn't hear any of them, it's a great listen as you're cutting the grass or cleaning your house or jogging or walking the dog, whatever it is. You could take a listen to some of those missing shows. Want to show a quick shout out to Kay Wilby. Thank you for blessing the channel, myself and Preston, with 5 memberships today. So congratulations to those. Kay is always supporting. So thank you very, very much for that. Jen, we've got an incredible guest tonight who's going to be full of a lot of energy and laughs and fun. Is a really special person in our community. Tell everybody a little bit about him that might potentially not know him.
Sure. This week's guest is truly one of the most sincere and genuine people we've had the pleasure of meeting in the YouTube community. His YouTube channel focuses on bringing guests along to amazing destinations in Disney and beyond, as he broadcasts quality content and entertainment right from the Disney parks. His channel's success is really driven by the quality of his creativity, boasting over 1,000 subscribers across 334 videos and more than 379,000 channel views. Our guest is well known in the community for his quick wit and comedic humor. You've probably seen him on channels supporting creators like Jennifer Caruso and That Crazy Disney Lady. We are excited to announce that joining us today is Jordan from Epcot Forever.
That's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. I want to do the questions that we're going to do. We usually do. We're going to change that. But first, we want to check with Steph, right? I want to ask her,
Yes,
do we have any new people coming in?
we sure do. We have my husband, Paul Engel. We have Kay Wilby. We have Ray Mazur, John Deff. We have James T. Jewelry Picks Photography, Phil Harmagical Mel, Bruce Capuchetti, and JJ Kicks with a couple Z's.
Welcome in. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys are all hitting that like. We want to get up to triple digits every show that we can. So usually every week we do a segment where we ask the ladies a fun or unique question to get to know them a little better. The concept was brought up to us, and I thought it was pretty good. We're going to try a trivia question tonight for each of you, and why not one for our guests? So let's talk. I want to look over here onto the big screen just because. Well, frankly, I got football on that one. We're going to try something a little different tonight instead of the regular questions. It is going to be trivia. So I'm going to go the first one. Let's see. I'll let Steph go first so she can get, in case we have more people coming in. She's got to write names down. So Steph, I'm going to ask you what was not sold at Epcot when the park first opened, opening day. What was not sold? Was it A, alcohol, B, beverages in plastic cups because obviously they're not environmentally friendly? Was it C, balloons, or D, Disney character merchandise? A, B, C, or D? Which one do you think it is? And in the chat, feel free to throw your answers in there too if you like, real quick. So.
I think it's A or B, but I can't decide which because I don't know. How long have we had Plasket in our world?
Hour-long show.
Okay, golly, the stress. All right, I'm going to look at the chat. The chat's saying A. I'm going with A. A.
You're going with A, and with
I'm
that,
going with A.
I would have
Final
to say
It doesn't matter how you're doing.
it doesn't matter because you got it wrong. You got it wrong.
Snap.
Completely wrong.
B?
The answer is D,
D?
except D, which is Disney character merchandise.
You're
Except
kidding.
no, I'm giving you the truthful answer right now. Except for opening day, October 1st, 1982, Mickey and Friends characters were not seen in Epcot for 2 years. This was an effort to keep Epcot different and distinct from Magic Kingdom. Eisner changed all that by bringing the meet and greets merchandise when he came in. So there you go. It was D. So
Thanks
you got
for
it
shopping stuff.
You did not win the big. You did not win the big shot. Okay.
I knew this was going to stress me out. Okay.
All right. I'll go to Mandy second. Mandy, in what year did the candlelight processional first be held in Epcot? In Epcot, not out at the land. In Epcot, was it A, 1982, B, 1971, C, 1994, or D, 1999? A, B, C, or D? 82, 71, 94, or 99?
Going between C and D.
Okay, you pick one. By the way, AJC Amy did get that right in the first one. By the way, she got the trivia question right. She knows her trivia.
I'm going to go C.
You're going to go C, which would be 1994. You're going to go C,
Correct.
1994.
Hoo-ah!
Yeah,
You got it right.
correct.
You got it right.
Yay!
It is C on there. It is C, 1994. Looks like AB got it right. Molly's mom, Amy, got it right. Jennifer Caruso got it right. Go Minnie. A lot of people got it right. Okay. All right. Let's go to question 3, and I'll go over to Jen for this one.
Okay.
Jen, Who does the statue outside the Germany pavilion represent? Does it represent A, St. George, B, a dragon slayer, C, St. Nicholas, D, St. Michael, E, Pete? That's who they wanted to do it for.
It's like she got 5 choices.
Not E.
Could have been.
Aw, sorry, Pete.
Not B. I know it's a saint. What did you say? There was Saint
You got
George,
St.
Saint
George,
Nicholas.
St. George, a dragon slayer, St. Nicholas, and St. Michael. Hour-long show.
Okay, stop. I think it's Saint George.
A, you are correct. You got it right.
Yes.
Okay, it is St. George, the patron saint of Germany. Your mom also got that right because she knew it was the patron saint. And probably Amy got it right. She just didn't get it in time just because it's Amy. Oh, Amy gets C. Amy got it. I can't believe we tricked Amy. Now I really feel like I've done something.
Simba 2 says St. George.
All right. Well, Simba 2 gets it also. So, okay.
You know what looks really cool in the
What's that?
chat? AB has his name, and then he put C as his choice.
Oh,
So
there
it looks
you
like
go.
AB's. Yeah.
Mixed all the way around. So, well, that was
Teachers
fun.
see these things.
Everybody seemed to like it. We'll do that more in the future or other unique type of things there because it's interesting to do. Our guest tonight is a forefront in this community of support. He supports many channels, going out, watching, being a part. He is one of the most generous people that I've met when you're out in the parks. He's always offering to buy you a drink or buy this or do that just to do something nice. He's always thinking of other people before himself, and he's got a great comedic pulse. Coming in to join us, ladies. Let's have it so that I can turn the stream over to Stephanie before she starts bringing out her cookies. And let's bring in Jordan. Hello, Jordan. Welcome in.
Hey, Pete. Hey, ladies. How is everybody doing tonight?
We're doing well.
Great.
We're doing well. We're having
Better now that
having
you're
a good
here.
time. There you go. Well, I'm going to turn things over to Stephanie and jump into the chat when I need to, and I will not be watching football. I just want to say that. Go ahead, Steph.
Okay, can I say hi to some folks in the chat first?
You may do whatever you like.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so hello to Miss Ann. Hello to Patrick Julian. Hello to Jeffrey. Hello to Seti Webb. Hello to Murray's Adventures. Hello to Yoo-hoo. Hello to Viaja Alex. Roderick Freeman. And Dutchyland.
Dutchyland.
I like saying Dutchyland.
Omar, how you doing, Omar? Good to see you.
That's so fun to say.
Steph,
I like it.
It's all yours.
Okay. All righty. So welcome to the show, Jordan. I'm so excited to have you here. Before we jump into all the Disney fun, can you introduce yourself to our viewers to let them know a little bit about you and who you are?
Sure. Well, I'm Jordan, Epcot Forever. I see all the friends in the chat. I think we all kind of know each other for the most part, but for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a person who loves Disney and many other things, but my channel is based around Disney, even though I didn't start it there. I'm just an avid Disney nut. I mean, there's really not much more to say, to be honest with you. I love all things Disney, especially the parks.
Okay.
Sweet. All righty. And did you want to say something else? I'm sorry.
No. Short and sweet. That's
short and sweet. That is short and sweet. Very good. I was kind of, I was like, oh, he's done. Okay. All right. So for anyone new to your channel, what kind of content can they find and expect to see? And where do you usually find your inspiration?
Yeah, so I like to stream things, not just Disney. I mean, obviously that's my base, but really when I travel, because I travel quite a bit, I like to, I'm inspired by, of course, music. Music is a huge part of my life. I work with Yamaha Corporation of America. That's been my entire life. So outside of Disney too, just I'm inspired by music, by animals, by world travel, by food and drinks and beverages, and just honestly, whatever is just kind of cool out there that I'm like, this might be interesting. I want to show it.
Awesome.
That's terrific. Yes. Show anything that you are interested, because that's your channel. Am I right?
Amen.
Amen. Okay. All right. I'm going to hand you over to Miss Mandy, who has a couple more questions for you.
Thanks, Steph. And hi, Jordan. Thank you for being here with us tonight. So, for anyone that is new to your channel, what kind of content can they expect to see, and where do you usually find your inspirations?
Oh,
Well, I'm inspired by all the things that I just previously said. Obviously, Disney and travel and music. But I'm going to stream anywhere that I find something that's going to be interesting for other people to watch. I mean, I love concerts, I love music, I love all the stuff that we kind of just went over.
yes. That's my fault because I read the wrong question. There
No,
you
you're
go.
good.
Oh,
And I'm
Mandy,
inspired
ask
by
my
the Disney
second question, please.
oh,
and I'm
okay.
inspired by the Pete McDevitt show.
No, Lord.
You rock. Thank you.
Okay. And thank you for that answer. So, many of us have a story about how we got involved in the Disney YouTube community. Could you tell us about your journey?
Yeah. So right before I moved to Florida, I grew up in Newport, Rhode Island. And right before I moved, and I didn't even know I was moving yet, but I started watching people like Adam the Woo and Fresh Baked, and really actually more of the Disneyland people because I actually went to Disneyland a lot more than I went to Walt Disney World from like 2000. I would say 14 to about 2018. I was always going to the West Coast for my job. And what I just was like, because that was kind of the beginning of when people started showing the parks. And I always thought, how cool would it be if I could just watch a live stream or something? But there weren't really many people doing it at that time. So I watched people again like Fresh Baked, Justin Scard. I mean, all great
Right.
guys. And it was just they were like the OGs and the original. This is even kind of before like Nate paging Mr. Morrow was doing it, and so many people were. Um, but to kind of fast forward a little bit, when I moved to Florida and to Orlando, I yeah, Karen's awesome. I was I was just kind of like so. I went to the parks. I had my annual pass, and I wasn't really a part of it, but I continue to watch those people. Fast forwarding even further, the world almost ended. The pandemic hit. The
Mhm.
world basically shut down. And I was really bored one night, and I had found Resort TV One. I know it usually starts with Resort TV One, but for good reason.
Mhm.
And then one night they said, "Oh, Tanya's live, that crazy Disney lady. Why don't you go over and everybody go and say hi to her?" So I didn't know she was. And I came into her chat, and everybody was so welcoming. I saw Darla in here earlier, Aliens
Mhm.
for Green Hat, and known Darla for years. But she did this thing like what we're doing right now, but called Connecting with You, and I thought that was really really cool. She couldn't go to the theme parks, and none of us could, and so she would bring it. She would spin the wheel, and every week, Pete, you probably remember that.
Yep.
She'd bring on a guest, and I think you might have been one of them, and I was one of them, and I started to make friends with all these people, friends that like, I mean, Matt Simba too, so many friends that like I consider I'm so close to and so blessed to have met. And so from there, I just, started meeting other people within the community and streamers, and then 4 years later, 3 years later, you meet people who had never done it before, like, the world famous Jennifer Caruso and all these awesome, amazing people.
Mhm.
So like, it just kind of flowed into it. So yeah, just kind of a crazy little journey. And I never streamed. I just was a part of the community. I liked meeting people, and I was one of those weird Disney adults, and those people got me and they understood me, unlike most of my
I love
friends
it.
back then.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
We feel
We're
your
not
pain.
weird Disney adults. We're normal people.
We're normal people in our world. Everybody
Yeah.
else.
True.
So, okay. One other question before I hand it off to Jen. Most people know you as Epcot Forever from your Walt Disney World streams. But can you share a little bit about how you first got started, where it all began, and why you decided to launch your own channel?
Yeah, last year, well, like a year and a half ago, my wife is from Thailand, and we ended up buying actually two homes over there. And I was like, it would be really fun to actually, at first, I was going to vlog it. I bought a drone and I was going to like fly it over the rice fields and
Oh,
just kind
fun.
of like, because there's this really awesome YouTuber called Patty Doyle, and he inspired me too. He's not Disney, but I just love what he did because he literally took like a little scooter, like not a motorcycle, but like
Mhm.
a moped, and went to all of the different provinces in Thailand, and he flies the drone up. I was going to do that, but honestly, I got lazy and I was like, I'm not going to figure out how to. I don't have time to edit all this stuff and figure it out. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy a gimbal and I'm gonna live stream. I'm going to show people, around my wife's hometown. When I streamed in Laos, I should say, and just streamed all around Thailand. And it was just so fun to show the monk ceremonies and just things that most people don't ever get to see. I mean, we can
Mhm.
ride Pirates of the Caribbean live 3,000 times a week, but I wanted to take people into, and trying to find internet, by the way, there was just
Oh,
outrageously hard. But I made it work, and that's how it started. And then obviously I came back to the States and I said, I live in, Disney World's backyard, so I'm going to stream there and then try to find other things to stream. So that's kind of how it started. My first stream ever was in Thailand.
Very cool.
Wow, very cool. And actually, one more thing before we hand it over to Jen. Steph, have we had anybody new jump in?
we have. We have Miss Debbie Bernfeld. We have Miss Karen Saunders, or Sanders, that Jordan mentioned just a few minutes ago. Good friend of his, Dame Dystopia, and Amy DeBoard have joined us. So welcome.
Hit that like, everybody. Hit the like, and don't forget, we're going to be dropping the link for Jordan's YouTube channel into the chat throughout the night. If you're loving the interview or you want to check out his content, click on it right there. It's easy to get to. Jen?
So, anyone who spent time at the Magic Kingdom knows how magical it is to hear the pianist at Casey's Corner.
Mhm.
You have a very personal connection to that actual piano. Could you share that story with us today?
Yeah, of course, Jen. Yeah, so I as I mentioned, I sell. I'm a representative of Yamaha Corporation of America and represent their piano and digital piano division. And Disney reached out to me and they said we need to replace our Yamaha U3, which is the model that Grayson and Neil and all the greats play. And I said, how long has it been there? And they said it was since 2017, out in the elements. I mean, it just shows how great of a piano it is because a piano is not meant to sit outside, and
Right.
especially in humidity and the crazy Florida weather that it goes through. Yeah, I mean, that's a special piano because they don't make it in white.
Oh,
It's a cut and finish, and they actually had to contact Yamaha Japan and Hamamatsu Japan to get a special order request for it to be made, and they rushed it to be made because it's Walt Disney World. So, interesting fact. It's a little bit of a side note, but in Disneyland, California, they only use Yamaha instruments. So if you
oh,
see the band, if you see any piano, it is strictly Yamaha. Unlike Walt Disney World, they use a mixture of everything. Like in the Grand Flow, they use a Steinway D 9 foot, but out in California, it's only Yamaha. But yeah, so it was the coolest sale, I should say, that I ever made because it's probably the most seen and heard piano in the world, you know, on a year to year basis. So it's just definitely the coolest sale that I ever made.
that's awesome.
That is very cool. I love that story. But your connection with pianos goes even further. I believe you've had some wonderful experiences through your relationship with Yamaha. Could you share some of those non Disney stories with us?
Yeah, well, there's one that's kind of a Disney story, but my really good friend Craig Knudsen, he's a product specialist for Yamaha. He helped actually create what we call the Yamaha disc clavier is Yamaha's reproducing player piano. It's truly
Okay.
the only reproducing piano in the world, meaning that if an artist sits down and plays on that piano, it's captured their performance in actual live time, and they've captured every nuance, dynamic, including the pedaling. It's really remarkable. In 2013, I was with Yamaha. Only us Yamaha people could go. It was a 100th year celebration of Yamaha as a company, and at Disneyland's Hyperion Theater, they had a very special concert, and it was the first live broadcast around the world, and it was really a beta test that they worked on for about 12 years, and there were
Wow.
artists. There were artists like there was a 68-piece orchestra. It was Earth, Wind, and Fire, Shaka Khan, Yo-Yo Ma, Toto, Michael McDonald, all of these artists, which is just incredible. But the highlight, of course, was Elton John. He's a Yamaha. And so that night on his big 9-foot Yamaha disc clavier, and this was at Disneyland's Hyperion Theater, unbelievable show, by the way. That night, he actually played on 301 pianos worldwide.
Wow.
Wow.
And that was a very special night, and it was a big thing for us in the music world.
Very
That
cool.
is so cool. Oh my gosh.
Muted. Muted.
I'm not muted.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that was me. I'm sorry. Background noise. Thank you for sharing that story with us. But before we dive into the next part of our conversation, it's time to spotlight our drink of the week.
Oh,
All right.
So, Steph, you want to take that and
I sure
tell us
can.
what the drink is?
All right, so Jordan picked out our drink this week, and it's called the Banana Bread Espresso Martini. And you can find this at the Bellevue Lounge on Disney's Boardwalk. So, Jordan, can you tell us a little bit about the drink and why you chose it?
Yeah. So about a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, you guys have probably heard of the Disney Day Drinkers. My wife kind of follows those things on Facebook because she likes to get inspiration to make cocktails. And she said, Jordan, we've got to go try this drink. This looks really good, because she knows I am a fiend when it comes to espresso martinis. Anytime I go to a restaurant and it's on the menu, I have to try an espresso martini. So we went there, and it's no longer on the menu. Just so you guys know, if you want to try it, you actually have to just say, I want a banana bread espresso
Oh,
martini.
okay.
Ingredients to make it. It used to be on the menu, but you
Okay.
can still get it, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Anyways, in my opinion, it's probably one of two of the best espresso martinis I've ever had. It's certainly my favorite drink on Disney property, obviously, because I adore espresso martinis. It's not overly sweet, but this is the perfect time of the year too. They sprinkle. It should show sprinkled cinnamon on the top of it.
It does.
But yeah, so. Yes. Oh, it does. Okay. So, anyways, it's a perfect fall drink, but it's absolutely delicious. So we now make them at home, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say except it's so good. And most people don't know about it because it's not on the menu.
interesting.
Of course. Yeah, we're gonna have to remind ourselves. Put this on my next trip. I have to remember to order this.
Oh, you'll love it.
Fabulous. All righty. So, do you have any personal experience, past or recently, that you've had with this drink? Anything, interactions with folks or anything like that?
I'm so sorry. It cut out. I think my internet at this Hilton is not doing me so much justice. What was that again?
Oh, okay. That's okay. Did you want to share any personal or past experiences that you had maybe enjoying this drink at the boardwalk? Or if not, that's okay if you don't have any.
No, I mean, I don't have any like special. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I do actually, and I didn't think about this until you just asked that
Okay.
question. Um, Ian, who actually I didn't think there were any, and then this popped in my head when you asked the question. Ian is one of the Voices of Liberty, and I love Voices of Liberty at Epcot. And one night he was there, and we have a very close mutual friend. I'm not very close with Ian, but I know him by name, and we recognize each other. And he was sitting at the bar, and he was having an espresso martini. And I went up and I said, "Ian, how's it going, man? Good to see you." And I said, "What are you drinking?" "I know it's an espresso martini." I said, "You need to try a banana bread espresso martini." So we just sat there and we just talked, my wife and I and him, just about Voices of Liberty and enjoying the beverage. I mean, it's just a
Nice.
good time.
Cool.
Wow. Banana bread's one of my favorite things to have and make, actually. So I not being fabulous as a espresso martini as well. So that sounds really good. Ladies, has anybody else tried this or have you heard of it before? Jen, I'll start with you.
I have not tried it. I have not heard of it. But I do think I need to put this on my list to check out next time. Yeah, sounds delicious.
All right. Mandy Mary, how about you? Any interest?
I've not heard of it. And I've not tried it. But unfortunately, you lose me with the espresso. So, in theory, it sounds delicious, but I don't think I'd order it. One more for Jordan.
One more for Jordan.
How about you, Pete?
No, I'm not a huge drinker, but I will banana bread eat you guys under the table. There's nobody can keep up with me on fresh banana bread. I'll just go for the banana bread. Just give me the bread. You guys have the So I love me some banana bread. I bet you it's good. I mean, it looks, I'm not a drinker and it looks fantastic. When I can look at a drink and say, wow, that really looks good.
It does.
Makes you when you're not even a drinker, you maybe would think about drinking it. You're like, wow. But that looks really good. Even with maybe I'm not a coffee person either. So maybe that's what it is. So, okay. Interesting.
It's definitely a dessert drink.
Well, I'm going to say
it's a dessert drink. I was just going to say it's a dessert drink. So if you go to Flying Fish or you go to a restaurant, like you want to get that after you have a meal. You don't want to like down 2 banana bread espresso martinis before your meal.
Okay.
For sure. All right, I'm going to say hello to 3 new folks that have come in. Hello to Ghost Host. Hello to LSU Mom. And hello to Mark Langenkamp. So welcome in.
Hello.
And I'm going to pass it over to Peter.
Yeah, we're gonna ask the trivia question to you now and have some fun with that as well, like we did earlier. So our trivia question for you, Jordan, is: what city's buildings are replicated in the Italy Pavilion of the World Showcase? Is it A, Rome, B, Venice, C, Florence, or D, the Vatican? Do you know?
I'm going to go with B, Venice.
You would be correct. I don't have my sound things ready. Hold on. Ready? Where's your hoo-ha? There we go. Hoo-ha! There's your hoo-ha. It is Venice. The buildings are reputation of the city's bell tower and Doge's place. So there you go. Okay. Pretty nice. Good job. All right. We'll keep things rolling and keep it moving along. I'm going to spin things back over to Amanda.
So thanks, Pete. So with a name like Epcot Forever, folks might assume you only hang out at Epcot, but you've been to other parks too. Can you tell us about those trips and how they stack up against Walt Disney World?
Well, I've been to Disneyland 16 times, and going there, I used to be a pass holder for both World and Land, and so Disneyland is just great. I mean, to state the obvious, anyone who's been there, I'm sure, loves Disneyland. With the OG rides, I love the old school Fantasyland dark rides. So to me, having Mr. Toad, having Pinocchio, having Snow White, I wish we had more of that in Walt Disney World. It's on a smaller scale, so it feels more like a local people's park. But I will say that the parks that do it the best, I went to Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea in 2006 and 2018. And I went to actually Tokyo Disney Sea's 5-year anniversary in 2006, and that was awesome. Now, back then, I mean, it was all new to me. So, I was just kind of a kid and I was mesmerized by just how different everything was. When the second time in 2018, I was married and we went there. And the biggest thing that stood out to me is that um, Tokyo Disney, I think it still it does it correctly, if that makes sense. Like growing up as a kid in the 90s, going to Walt Disney World, I think that and I'm not saying, I mean, props to all the cast members and all the amazing folks that work there, but I think that Disney World, I'll try to word this correctly. I think Tokyo Disneyland does it the way Disney World used to. There was never any
Mm.
overflowing trash. Everything was clean. Everything was meticulous. Everybody was friendly. There wasn't one moment that I thought, man, this could be a little bit better.
Okay.
Oh,
Very good.
Good to know.
that sounds amazing. So definitely on my to-do list someday.
Absolutely.
But there's another experience that might rival that I heard about. That you being one of the lucky ones who got to spend a full 24 hours in the Magic Kingdom for the One More Disney Days events. People
Oh,
think that's a bit wild. I know I do. But what was it like for you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I cheated a little bit. I was only there for 18 hours. But I know, I cheated. I have to be honest, I cheated a little bit. I think this was back in, I think it was 2012. I want to say it was 2012. And we got there kind of in the afternoon because I'm not a morning person, so I sleep in. Um,
I get it. I totally get it.
Zippity Doo Doug knows that very well. Anyways, we got there. The cool thing is that we got to spend the entire night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, all the way until the sun rose the next day.
nice.
And then they just opened for regular guests like it was a normal day. And you got really kind of slap happy at one point. You were just kind of like,
Slap happy.
almost like you were drinking, but you weren't drinking because there was no alcohol in the Magic Kingdom back then. And
Right.
so it was just, I don't know, but I remember it pretty well. And it was great because, everything was a walk on and they didn't really do anything incredibly special for that night. But they had the fireworks like they normally did. Back then it was Wishes. And then, we just all went on rides and had fun and spent the whole night till the sun came up. It was just cool. I wish they still did things like that.
That's very cool. Sounds awesome.
Yes, that sounds like an amazing experience.
Yeah, except for the slap happy part, right?
I enjoyed the slap happy part.
Did you? Good. Okay.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think anybody probably at 2 or 3 a.m. probably would get a
Gotta
little
be a
slap.
little slap.
Or a
Gotta
little
be
tired
little
and asleep somewhere on a bench.
That's where I would have been. Yeah.
So, okay. Before we kick it over for some additional questions, Steph, has anybody else joined?
We've had No Rad, a new person, Fly Girl 517, and Mr. Tim, Tiki Man Fan, has joined
Welcome.
us. Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit and ask you this question that I'm so excited to hear the answer for. Not everyone gets to attend D23, meet a Disney legend like Bob Gurr, and take in the Legends Awards. Can you tell us about that unforgettable experience?
That's cool.
Yeah. It was a weird thing. My grandmother was just about to pass away, and I was in Rhode Island. Sorry, it's not to get like depressing or anything here, but she basically told me, she said, if I end up in a coma or something, you go and you have fun. She said, I don't want you to sit there. And I felt so selfish. I told my family, I said, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to leave my grandmother's side because she was like my mom. And they said, it's her wish that you go out to Disneyland and you go to Disney. I couldn't spend any quality time at that point with her. And as selfish as that sounds to myself and maybe to some other people, I could hear what she said to me before she was in that
Yeah.
situation. The day
Yeah.
I went to D23, she actually passed away, and I don't regret it because I think that that's exactly what she wanted me to do. And anyways, on a happier note, um, I got to go. It's so hard when you go to D23, and it was my first and my last time in 2019. It was really difficult for me to get any reservation, even to go to a store to buy merchandise, to go to any of these shows. And they have different events on each day. It's usually a 3-day. It's always a 3-day event. And I was able to get the Disney Legends ceremony awards, and that was so fun. And I got to see Christina Aguilera sing, live on stage, and I was actually
Oh,
pretty close up front, which was awesome. And she has an incredible, amazing voice, and just to see so many different legends on there come out. I was very disappointed because James Earl Jones was supposed to be there, and he couldn't make it.
Ah,
And I was
oh,
like, because he's no longer with us, but
right.
right.
that would have been great. But I'm glad that he certainly deserved the award. But even cooler, I'm on the basement of the Anaheim Convention Center, which I believe is now called like the Hertz Arena or something like that. They changed the name. But I'm on the basement where a lot of these vendors are selling pins and collectibles and merchandise. My wife and I are just kind of walking through, and I just see Bob Gurr just standing around selling his books. I'm like, "What? It's Bob Gurr." And my wife, she's like,
Yeah.
"Who's that?" It's an old man just sitting there. I'm like, it's the legend himself, the last living Imagineer who worked with Walt Disney. He's one of the original old men.
Yeah.
And so I walked up to him. I just said, "Mr. Gurr, it's just such an honor and privilege to meet you. You have no idea how much you've inspired me and so many people that I know." And I said, "I'd love to buy the book from you. I mean, I want to read this thing." And he said, "Well, I want you to know that, of course, everybody knows me as a Disney Imagineer, but I also want people to know before one day when I leave this earth that I've done a lot more than just work with Disney." And that's all detailed in the book. And he signed it for me. And it was just a very random thing. I had no idea it was there. I mean, it wasn't like a meet and greet. It wasn't a scheduled event. It wasn't anything
Right.
like that. He was down there talking to fans, selling his books, signing autographs. And it was very cool.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That's like, I'm so
Yeah.
jealous. Um,
Good luck
but
that day.
yeah. But since we're talking about Disney Legends, could you share with us who's been the biggest influences in your Disney journey?
Well, my favorite actress of all time is Angela Lansbury.
Oh,
And she I think was inducted into the Disney Legends Awards back in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. I loved Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I loved that movie so much. Of course, Mrs. Potts, Beauty and the Beast. But it's as far as Disney Legends are concerned, who inspires me the most are people like Mary Blair, who did It's a Small World.
yeah.
So gotta represent.
Oh, love
Um,
it. Love it. Love it.
and then Mark Davis with Pirates, and just the original Imagineers. I mean, I still love Joe Rohde, who did Animal Kingdom, and Tony Baxter, of course, for Splash Mountain. But those are the people that, like, even when I was a kid, I would watch all these TV shows before we had YouTube and the internet, and you could just search for all this stuff. I loved watching those, how it's made shows, and when the
Mhm.
Disney Imagineers would come on and talk about how they created those rides. I was so inspired. Unfortunately, I was terrible in math, so I could never become an Imagineer. So I just can't do math. But those are the people that they really make the magic behind the scenes, and they, to me, deserve the most recognition.
Great answer.
Yeah, that is love those legends. I'm going to transfer it over now to Steph.
Yes. Love hearing about all your experiences. So fortunate to be able to run into some of these folks and meet them. So I want to say hello to Nick and Claire, first of all. And then I'm going to jump into our next segment, which is the channel suggestions.
Oh,
And you gave us 3 channel suggestions of most impressive channels that you follow. I'm sure you could have added a lot more, as most folks say, but you have to narrow it down. So we gave you 3. So your first one is Zippity Doo Doug. Your second one was It's Me, David T. And then your third one is Jennifer Caruso. And we're going to go ahead and start with her first. So tell us about why you chose her as one of your inspirations.
Well, Jennifer's become a very close friend to me, and she's really helped me with my journey and live streaming and the YouTube, you know, and the YouTube community. And as far as she's just really helped me so much, but she's the most genuine, sincere person. Honestly, one of the very few I can say that is genuine and sincere in my life. It comes across when she streams. She's so kind, she's so sweet, she's so nice, and she cares about every single person in this community. She wants to meet people. She wants to, you know, make everybody feel welcome, but she just does such a great job live streaming. And it's just her being so genuine and sincere, and her kindness to really just not just me, everybody, every single person. And she's fun and she's funny, and her streams are just absolutely top notch quality and so enjoyable. I mean, Jennifer and her whole family have become very close. I've become very close with all of them. But I feel like anyone feels like they could walk up to Jennifer Caruso and they feel like they've known her for basically their entire life. And there's not a lot of people you can say that on that level, if that makes sense.
Totally. Yes. No. She's one of a kind for sure. Totally. So your next channel is It's Me, David T. Tell us why we should check him out.
Yeah, David T. So he does a lot like things that I do. I really enjoy the fact that he does things besides Disney. He obviously doesn't live near Walt Disney World. He lives in Kentucky near Cincinnati, but he streams a lot of fun things. He works for the Dent Schoolhouse during the Halloween season, and he loves going to Kings Island. And it's so fun to see him show all these amazing streams and places that even like I'm too busy to go to, and I wish I could go and see these places. But he shows things besides Disney, and I really enjoy that because a lot of times you don't see that with a lot of Disney-based streamers. They only go to Disney, and David does a lot of different fun, enjoyable streams from many other places.
He does for sure. And tell us about why you like Zippity Doo Doug.
I love Doug because he's just a great guy, but his consistency every single morning when I actually get my lazy butt up to be able to watch his morning streams, it's always so much fun, especially when Steve, his brother, comes on, and it's just always a great time. I mean, every time Doug streams, he's one of the most hilarious people I ever watched streaming. So you gotta love Doug.
Yes. So thank you so much for sharing those channels with us. All of those people are very creative content friends of ours here in Disney, in the community. I would also like to say hello to Lily's Life. I would like to say hello to Tennessee Bear, to Jeanette, Sebastian the Crab, and
Hello.
Mr. O'Connell too. So welcome in.
Welcome.
And yes.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. Okay. And I'm going to pass it over to Miss Mandy Mary, who is going to give us a recap of our show tonight.
Oh,
Yes, we've had an amazing show tonight. Thank you, Jordan, for being here with us. And here are some highlights. We've discovered the magic behind how Jordan launched Epcot Forever and the fun content you can enjoy on his channel. We got to hear the magical tale of Jordan's bond with the Casey's Corner piano and the incredible adventures that followed. He recounted his epic 24-hour adventure at the Magic Kingdom and his amazing journeys to Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea. And of course, we can't overlook his magical moment at D23 and the legendary Imagineers who shaped his journey. Next time you're at the boardwalk, be sure to try his drink of the week, the Banana Bread Espresso Martini. I encourage everyone here to leave a comment on this episode with your thoughts so Jordan can go back and read them once the show is over.
absolutely.
So we're going to learn a little bit about next week's guest. So, Jen, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So looking forward to next week. Get ready for the ultimate Disney music experience. Our guest is the maestro, bringing all the magic straight to you. Having collected Disney music for over 10 years, he's created a website that's your one-stop portal to all of the magic of Disney music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From the West Coast, he brings us all the top stories and memories from his time at the Disneyland Resort. You can spot him in the chats of your favorite Disney YouTube channels, where he's moderating and supporting the community like a true Disney fan. Joining us next week will be Anthony from Fast Pass Radio.
That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Mhm.
It's always it's great when you can do two different shows back to back where we have Jordan, who's been in our community, and a lot of people know him but didn't know little unique things. I even saw Jennifer Caruso say tonight, "Wow, I didn't know that about Jordan. I just learned something new." I love that. And then we get the opposite end where we get somebody who's new to our community, being a part of our community, who we don't know a lot about. We get to know a lot more about them. So two different shows, but filled fully right here with Triple C Show. First, I want to remind everybody, hey, and say first, thank you to our guest tonight for coming in here and hanging tight with us and sharing a little bit about him, telling us some stories and having some laughs with us. That's absolutely awesome. Before we go to a final thought, I want to remind everybody that you can go over and check out his YouTube channel. We've been dropping that in the chat throughout the night tonight. If you haven't seen him stream live, it's fun. You feel like you're just right there with him hanging out at the parks. It is an absolute awesome, awesome time. I want to remind everybody that our show can be found on a podcast here on YouTube. You can listen at any time. Just click it up and go through all those great guests that we've had. Maybe some people you haven't seen or met before that are just awesome, awesome to get to know about. I will be live tonight. It says 10:45. It's probably going to be closer to 11:15 with a brand new Disney Insomniac show. It is the place for your late night Disney fix. 5 new channels to be discussed, some new things in the community. We got some good stuff going on. So come on over later tonight if you can't sleep and hang out with us. We really appreciate that. You can follow this channel and the show on the Clubhouse Chaotic Chat on Instagram. You can also follow all of the ladies themselves directly. Their YouTube links are right in the description and body of this video. Finally, before we do our final thought, I remind everybody about those great channels. Those great channels, the Zippity Doo Doug channel every every day in the morning, Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m. David T and all the unique stuff that he does, including Disney, and of course the amazing Jennifer Caruso, who goes live on Tuesday nights down into the parks. We always like to do a final thought of the night here, where we tie things up here, and I will let the ladies go first. And Steph, I'll start with you. Final thought tonight.
Sure. Jordan, thank you so much for being here. I remember many years ago first finding out about you through Jennifer, actually, when she was going around the parks, and she ran into you a few times, I think at Animal Kingdom, and I remember you guys interacting, and that's how I first found out. And then I've seen you a couple times at the parks. And speaking of nice people, like you mentioned about Jennifer, you are also in that category yourself. So you are very genuine, very kind, and every time I've ever met you, you've been nothing but that. So carry on and enjoy the rest of your travels that you have coming up in the future. And I can't wait to see and hear about them on your channel.
Love it. Love it. Mandy?
Well, Jordan, thank you for being here with us tonight. Your passion about Disney and music has shown through. And like Steph said, I have kind of seen you in other folks' streams. And it was amazing to learn so much more about you tonight and all of the amazing experiences that you've had from D23 to the parks to Yamaha. It's just amazing. And all of these past experiences are behind you. I cannot wait to see what happens in the future.
Nice. Very nice. Jen?
Jordan, I don't think I'm the only one thinking this, but we can't get enough of Jordan. We cannot get enough of Epcot Forever. So thank you for being here tonight. Jennifer, your relationship with Jennifer Caruso is just amazing. You're always with her. I love it. I can't wait to meet you. One of these trips when I get down there, it's got to happen one of these days.
You're coming to Magical Night of Hope, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to meet you there.
We're also doing
Finally,
So,
we're also doing a meet.
finally.
Jordan, we're also doing a meetup that day over at Disney
I know,
Springs.
and I'm going to be working,
That's not
unfortunately. I
accept.
have
That's
to
not.
leave work early like I did tonight to come do this show.
Oh well, bless you for doing that. Thank you so much. I'll throw it to you for a final thought of the night first, and then for two things. Well, first, final thought first, and then I got something else for you. So your final
Oh,
thought, Jordan.
my final thought. Okay. Well, thanks guys for having me on the show. I mean, everybody in here, I got my phone, so I've been looking kind of on the sidelines here, seeing who's in here. But I mean, just what an incredible community of people. I've met people that I never thought that I would meet in my life and built friendships. And it's all because of, streams that people like you do, Pete, and Jennifer does, and all sorts of people. And it's just such an important thing to bring people or like-minded people together through
Mm-hmm.
love and sincerity. And you do an incredible job. I mean, it's always an honor to come on here. I've been a little more serious tonight than I normally am, but I'm usually the one to take over the room. I just sat back and let you guys ask the questions, and I answered them so the show could move on, because sometimes I get a little, overboard. So, but no,
I love it.
I mean, really, I'm just honored and blessed to know all of you. Like
I love it.
everybody in the chat that I met in person, or who I've never met before, but I feel like I know. Like, I mean, not to single anybody out, but Tim Tiki Man fan, I met his son and his husband many times. I still haven't met Tim yet. I mean, all these people. It is such a blessing to know all of you. It truly is.
I love it. I love it. I'll give you my final thought in a minute, but first, I wanted to do a simple segment with you. Jordan, could you tell me what Jennifer Caruso would think about this whole stream?
Pete, I think she would think it's one of the best streams that the ladies have ever done, because Pete, your sincerity, your honesty is just so nice.
Ron doesn't think you're honest. No, Ron doesn't think he's honest. No.
It's great. Hi, Matt Simatu, welcome in. Julie McCowan, welcome in. And it's also just it's just always so fun to be here. Ron, I don't want to see your underwear. Put it away. I just want to thank you, Pete, for everything that you do and that you ladies do.
Hold on, stop. We haven't talked about Nick yet. We have to talk about Nick. Please talk about Nick for 5 minutes.
Well, Pete, let me tell you, my Nicky, he's been doing all these crazy shorts with his dad, and I don't even know what they're doing. Half the time, I just don't even pay attention.
It's crazy. I can't keep up. The sun's shining, birds are flying. I'm lost. It's amazing. Enough of that. I'm not gonna have a voice. I'm not gonna have a voice for baseball later.
Oh gosh.
I just have to say, I could sit here and listen
beautiful.
to that conversation
Yes.
all night long. Thank you.
Let me say.
Oh golly.
Let me say this first and foremost. We both do that because we love Jennifer. That's the first and foremost thing. For anybody coming in, that is 100%. For who she is and who that whole family is. They're amazing people. Jordan, Wyatt Earp had his younger brother who he called the peacemaker. And to me, that is you in my world. You've come up to me many a times and sat with me and said, hey, I know about this. How can we fix it? Or, hey, this is on my mind. Somebody approached me. Could we talk about this? And I love the fact that you trust me enough to sit and talk with me, that you care enough about this community, that you're always looking for the best. Your sincerity is who you are as a person, which is full of tact and integrity. And I can tell you that my life is better because you're in it. And I appreciate you for all who you are and what you do. So it means a lot to me. Thank you for doing this show
Likewise.
tonight.
Thank you so much. And no time for nonsense. We're all here to have fun.
Absolutely. I think if you're going to be at Night of Hope, and I'm going to try to grab the microphone from Corey and see if we can do a dueling Jennifer at Night of Hope. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, awesome.
We could sing Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you from Jennifer.
And she
Spare those poor people, please.
Oh, it would be great. It would be great. It would be awesome.
I'll be live tonight at 11 o'clock bearing if Jennifer doesn't call me and yell at me. I'll be live tonight, Disney Insomniacs at 11 o'clock. Go over, check out Jordan's YouTube channel. Keep up with everything he has going, and you'll find him when you're at the parks. If you ever see him, definitely don't hesitate to stop, say hello, and introduce yourself. I guarantee it's a moment that'll be good for you. We've had a great show tonight. I've enjoyed myself. I wanted to bring Paul on, but unfortunately, Jennifer, should we bring on Paul? Oh, hell no. See, so I can't do it. I couldn't do it. So there it is. On that note, we got to get out of here. I can't even find my buttons. Hold on. I'm too busy laughing about Jennifer Caruso. We're out of here. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise.